Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelorette Recap A Guys review. It is week 3 of Katie Thurston's season of The Bachelorette. I just recorded the live stream. You can go check that out if you want more content. We talked taking voicemail calls from all of you guys, getting calls from different countries. Just amazing all the support. Big shout out to Ethiopia. We got a Patreon member there. Gabby in Germany. Sophia called in from Canada. So thank you to everybody for all the support out there. And to support this video, just hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We need everyone who enjoys this content to hit that subscribe button. You might think you're subscribed, but you might not be. So get on there and give me a solid subscription. Bump your Harry on top of that like button as well. And let's get right into it. Let's do this. I just recapped the show. No edits. I take some notes. I read them back to you guys, and we go right through it. Okay, are we ready to go? Let's get right into it. All right. Week 3, we open with Carl. We knew we had to start with Carl because we ended with Carl, and it's the Carl show. Someone said, is this the Twilight Zone? Are we being punked? No, this is how Bachelorette works. We gaslight ourselves into liking this smut. That's kind of how it goes. We go, why do you like it? You like it because you like it, Dave. Now, just, watch it and just shovel it down. Every year we're like, I'm going to quit after this season. And what do? We turn it on. Like the little, people that we are. We can't think for ourselves. Katie decided to go straight to the rose ceremony, further pissing off the house. She's like, oh, you didn't like Carl? Well, too bad. I'm going straight to the rose ceremony. 17 guys are like, I didn't even get to pivot. I didn't even get to pivot and tell you what I wanted to tell you. She's like, too bad. Carl is like Urkel. When she says she goes straight to the rose ceremony. And he goes, did I do that? If you guys don't get that reference, you're too young. Wear sunscreen. I sort of respect Carl for doubling down and not admitting that he made everything up. He decides to start shadowboxing instead. You're delaying owning up to something when you start mixed martial arts, okay? Carl went to the Yosef University School of Owning Up to Your Mistakes, which is not very often. Mikey decides as soon as he gets a rose to tell Katie that all the guys have decided Carl is BS. Katie asks, do you guys all feel this way? And they'll go, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they've literally unionized against Carl. It's actually quite amazing what they've done. Carl is the ultimate motivational speaker. He motivated them to join a coalition against him. It really is kind of just mind-boggling. This is what happens. I got a message from someone who's related to Carl, and they said he's not a bad guy. So who knows? Maybe he was edited a certain way. Maybe he's a good guy, but either way, maybe he was. He played the fool. Right? The fool that would go along with whatever the producers wanting him to do, and it clearly didn't work out for Carl. Group date. All right, we got a group date. Nick Viall shows up. Can you believe they were able to get Nick Viall? We're kidding. He's free. Come on, the show. Nick Viall is on the I would say Mount Rushmore for past contestants that have been able to monetize their experience on the show. Leave a comment. Let me know who else is on your Mount Rushmore of former contestants that have kind of been able to strung together a career out of this. He's good at what he does. He's kind of pivot into a good kind of thing that he's got going on. Nick Viall pulls the guys into a circle to share stories they aren't proud of. Oh, this is going to go well. I saw some people comment on this promo beforehand being like, oh, great, can we do this with a licensed therapist instead? But, he lets everyone speaks and everyone's open, and they actually did a pretty good job of editing this all together where the guys all got real, Katie got real, we're going to discuss it all. And, of course, trigger warning. I am a little new to knowing how to do trigger warnings. Sorry, I'm old school, back in my day, whatever. Trigger warning. We're going to talk about a little bit involving Katie's scenario that we all watched because we're watching the recap here, which was talking about the her incident that she wanted to share here. Domestic, I guess it would be considered domestic violence, right? I do apologize if I'm getting this wrong in any sort of way. I'm trying my best. And then, of course, some of the guys talk about cheating and drinking and some other issues. So it's kind of a tough conversation, but I think a good one to have on the show. I think it's a good one to have. A lot of people said, hey, they should be having these conversations more often. They should be doing this every season. And, of course, you don't want to say stuff that's going to be used against you. You want it to be therapy, but then again, you're doing therapy in front of other guys who are also all trying to date the same person. You know what I mean? It's like going to a job interview with 10 other guys applying for the same position, and you have to say why you were a bad employee in the past. It's like, I stole computer paper and I spent company time watching Dave Neal's recap videos. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I know that's what you're doing out there. I mean, imagine how many hours have been wasted at your job because you watched my content. I appreciate you for that. You know, whatever. Work extra hard during lunch. All right, Hunter's up. He says he was married with a kid and talks about destroying his family by overworking. That's the perfect answer in this scenario. He goes, my greatest flaw is my work ethic. Perfect answer. It sucks for his family and all that. Hunter seems like a good guy. Not just because I saw that you followed me on Instagram. What's up, my man? But he actually seems like a pretty good guy. Aaron was in a relationship that turned into an obligation, he said. David chose his career over a relationship. So there's a lot of just a lack of prioritizing, which I feel like, you know, you have to reckon with that balance. I mean, that's how it works. It's like you want to work so hard because you want to provide, but then you neglect the person you're trying to provide. It's a delicate balance. Learn each other's love language. Come on. Courtney made a mistake that broke trust. By the way, check out the video I made about Courtney. He was accused of dumping his girlfriend to go on to The Bachelorette. Now, in the comment section, I saw like his sister and a friend of his defended him, saying he broke up with this girl in June of 2020, like 9 months before he went on The Bachelorette. I made a video about it on YouTube. Go check that out. I'll post a link to it. It was very interesting to see somebody trying to like shame Courtney and it backfire like that. You know, it's been happening a lot. I've got my refs hat I put on whenever so like from now on, if there's any like issue that I need to solve, I'll get to the bottom of it for you guys. I'm doing this for you guys. I'll get to the bottom of it. Don't you worry. Thomas says he went on the show knowing it would help his platform. He also says he went on a date a week before filming, had no expectation this would work. Everyone was like, yo, bro, chill. Like the other guy code was like, hey, man, come on. Of course somebody's going to go bump Harrison's a week before the show, maybe see if Friends with Benefit, go, to Cabo with the DJ Bazoo or whatever you're going to do, Sarah Trout. Of course something's going to go down, but like, hey, keep it chill. So of course he's like, I thought we were sharing. Everyone's like, whoa, share a little less. You know what I mean? Connor opens up. He takes off all the buttons on his shirt. It's late here, folks. Sorry. He takes off all the undoes. Is that even a word? Undoes. He undoes all the buttons. That's what I wrote. I guess that makes sense. Say it out loud. Undoes. He undid all the buttons on his shirt to really let his aura pour out. He's got big swashbuckle energy. Talks about working at piano bar. He should work at a Pirates bar. He's got that big blouse energy happening. He talks about getting free drinks, getting angry and drunk. He cheated on his ex one night. He went to therapy and tried to make amends and use that to become a better person. Good for him for sharing that conversation. I mean, I don't know if it's good to share that with Katie. I mean, in the back of her head, she's going to be like, once a cheater, always a cheater, But good for him. Good for Connor. I have really liked Connor. If you saw my live stream from Thursday, I showed all of his music. He's such a talented guy. And, imagine performing late at night, you're doing the piano, you're playing, come on, Eileen, yeah. It's like, I mean, how soon would that get boring? And then some lady who likes her ivories tickled decides that she wants, whatever, and, next thing you know, not a good scenario. Not a good scenario at all. But good for him for learning that and trying to do better. All right, Katie's turn. So here we go. This is tough. This was tough to watch, guys, because we're rooting for Katie. She's so sex positive, but she shares a story as to why she now is that way. She says New Year's Eve 10 years ago, she was involved in a situation where there wasn't consent. She was denial. She had denial over it and tried to form a relationship with the person after. Felt responsible for being too drunk. She felt stupid. All those feelings that victims feel like, oh, I should have done better. I should have worn something different. I shouldn't have drank so much. All these things that they're just not. You're the victim. And it probably took Katie a long time to grapple with that. And I know a lot of people have related. I know a lot of people that are in my Discord chat have shared their story. It was so nice to hear them all talk about the fact that by hearing Katie talk about it, they were able to talk about it. Not normalizing the behavior, but destigmatizing the people that have gone through that in a way that you can sort of take that burden off, and that's a big deal to carry that around with you. So just another example where Katie's just knocking it out of the park with authenticity. It's almost like everyone's got a Katie. Everyone's got a story that relates to Katie. And she's really doing a good job of navigating all of that in a way that's like, here's what I learned from it. So another just real powerful moment. And shout out to you, Katie. We're all with you here. And it doesn't stop there. Michael A. shares a story. before he shares it with Katie, he shares it with a couple of the guys about his wife passing away from breast cancer 2 years ago. His son lost his mother. He's 36, and he only told his wife, Laura, that he loved her. So he had been with Laura, his wife. She passes away. Brutal story. Brutally heartbreaking. Just, I mean, a real tough episode from a lot of people I talked to. A lot of tears in this episode, but not tears in the sense where I felt like it was gratuitous. Just really telling good stories. Is this an example of how the Bachelor franchise is deciding to change the way they do things, shuffling out the unneeded drama and getting to these Michael A. stories? I hope so. Of course, there was a little unneeded Carl drama and some other things, but I hope this is more of what we get because Michael A. seems to be a knockout guy. We'll talk more about him in a second. Katie tells Thomas to list his red flags, and he sort of bombs his chat, and he kind of avoids it. She's like, no, share your red flags. You said you had red flags. Share your red flags. He's like, well, I'm guilty of just trying too hard. She's like, all right. Yeah. So then he wanted to go see her again when she was talking to someone else. So he starts loitering in the halls as she connects with Aaron. And he's just like walking back and forth like he's waiting for the bathroom at a bar. He's like, you going to be done in there soon, bro? I had the Thai food, and it's not sitting right. So if you could just, you know what I mean? So, of course, whenever someone has to double dip and go back in, that's never a good thing. The double dipping drama, it always happens where someone gets more of the time when it's not theirs, and it breaks the code. Oh, this guy wants more time and this and that. And, of course, Thomas is now that guy. He tells her he's falling for her. Typical stuff. The group date, Rose goes to Connor B. Look, my guy still has the goods. Connor B, she likes a button undid, and he's undoing her boundaries for him. I don't know. That was I'm trying, folks. No edits. I like to treat this as a set. This is one set. We don't cut into it. Aaron calls Thomas a cancer and says he needs to be cut out. And it's like, I get the sentiment, but and I get the visual, but also it's kind of like, let's not just call him a jerk, okay? It was a little brutal, a little too much here. We're talking about cancer, and then all of a sudden he's referring to Thomas as one. It's like, Thomas isn't a cancer, okay? Maybe he's got his issues, but I'm not fully on board with the Thomas hate. It almost feels too easy to take that jump so far. So I'm not defending Thomas. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Thomas. I'm not defending him. I'm just not there to think he's that bad yet. He basically said what everyone else was thinking. Yeah, maybe I came for a little platform love. It couldn't hurt. And if I fell in love, maybe that'd be good too. That's one of those things you're supposed to think, but you're not supposed to say. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. He was just kind of, maybe he's an idiot. And he was like, I thought we were all sharing. I came on here to get Instagram verified. Do you know how hard it is to get Instagram verified? I'm not Instagram verified. By the way, I get Instagram verified when I get YouTube verified, and that happens automatically when I get 100,000 subscribers. We just hit 34,000. Let's do it before I turn 40. Okay, I'm 36. Make it happen this year. Michael B and Katie go off-roading. This date was fun. This was my favorite date so far of the season. They go off-roading. Katie flips her car before even making it to him, which was hilarious because, by the way, Katie's wearing this nice white jumpsuit. My fiance works in fashion, so I thought it would be a good idea for my fiance, Tasha Courtney, to do a fashion recap every week from all the items you see on the show. So just a shout out to her channel. The new episodes will be on Tasha Courtney's channel, my fiance. There'll be a link below. That episode is available right now. You can watch Tasha talk about fashion, what worked on the show, why it worked, and also she shows other duplicate clothing that would go well with what we saw in case you want to buy a less expensive version. It's been a real success making these fashion videos. I wanted them to be on Tasha's channel so she can build her channel up. So go do me a favor, get over to her channel right after here, give her a like, comment. I'll be over there answering comments and she will as well. And if you, even if you don't think you're interested in the fashion aspect of the show, it does add another layer to everything. And it's kind of cool to see how Caitlyn dresses, Tayshia. We talk about the deep V and the deep U and the outfits the guys are wearing. And it's a ton of fun. Tasha brings a lot of good content to the fashion world. So it's definitely interesting. So thank you in advance for going over there to support that. Again, I really appreciate it if you go over there and check that out after this video. Tasha Courtney on YouTube is her username, and there'll be a link below. You can go check that out as soon as you're done watching here. All right, so Michael and Katie go off-roading. We give Katie all this credit for flipping her. I figured there was sometimes they'll show like a crazy stunt and then the stuntman will get out and like, oh, it's just a stuntman in a parking lot. I was like, no, Katie flipped her vehicle. She was upside down. She had a bruise. She had an eyelash kind of hitting a ceiling. The whole thing was going, we're glad she's safe. But it was very like, wow, this girl's got some balls or ovaries or whatever sexual organ you identify with. So ideal first date, ideal outdoorsy, some danger, releasing some dopamine, good bonding. This date was everything you wanted it to be. It didn't have any stupid gimmicks. It was just fun, deep. They got out, they got out to this beautiful wilderness. It was great. The evening date, we see that they had a great conversation. They connected. Michael opens up about the death of his wife, which we had teased earlier. He said life was perfect. 7 months after James was born, Lauren was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had grace and humor as cancer took a stronghold. To have grace in a situation like that, imagine the guilt knowing you're dying and you're leaving a young one and a 7-month-old and your husband that you loved and that you've been with since college. Heartbreaking stuff. Heartbreaking stuff. To even watch this, I'm watching it going, oh my gosh, I've never been put in this type of position. How heavy. It feels just like a horror story. He says, I know what it's like to love, to give everything. What a gift to be able to fall in love twice. Amazing. Really amazing stuff there. Instant favorite. I don't see him as a contender to become the next Bachelor. I also don't see him finishing with Katie. But then again, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. No one has the spoiler. Some people think they know the final four. We just don't know how we get there. But Michael, solid guy. Katie and Michael walk onto the roof. That was fun, right? When they were on the roof. Hilarious if they're on top of the guys' room. They're just like stomping around up there. The guy's like, shut up there. They hit him with a broom. We just hear him stomping, like, keep it down. They're just like stomping, like sort of like, are they bumping Harrison's on the roof? What are they doing up there? The guys mentioned that they don't trust Thomas, and the union created by everyone hating on Carl is now voting Thomas out like it's the show Survivor. So the group of guys are kind of like all in on like, the brethren there. So they're like, all right, we got rid of Carl. Let's get rid of Thomas. And it's like, okay, your intentions are well, but also Katie gets to decide who she wants. Like, no, Katie, we decided for you. Thomas has to go. She's like, Thomas is very good looking. I will decide when he goes. I'm still looking at his jawline. They have a meeting to derail Thomas's tank engine. Hunter asked Thomas if he was only on the show to become the Bachelor. He admits to it. One of the thoughts was to be the next Bachelor. They really pressed him. He wasn't like, hey guys, I'm on the show to be the next Bachelor. They were like, come on, just admit it. And he's like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm going to fall. And I told you. It's like, okay. If that was like a trial, that would have been like leading the witness, okay? Let me know. Abby, my legal scholar, let me know. Was that leading the witness there? Thomas just seems kind of like he wasn't in the position to defend himself. And I don't know. To me, like, it just doesn't seem like he's that bad of a guy like they want to make him out to be. They're calling him a psychopath, all these different things. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Is he? Maybe he likes her. Maybe he doesn't know. It's the third week. You know what I mean? What do I know? Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about Thomas. I'm just not all in on seeing him as a complete villain yet, Of course, the rose ceremony saw John leave. He was rumored to be a top finalist, and of course, that didn't happen. We just don't know what's going to go down, and that's what I love about this season. I love this season because we just don't know what's going to go down. We're enjoying it. We're enjoying sort of the lessons we're all learning from having Katie as the Bachelorette, and, I'd like to know is there anyone in the comment section, let me know, that doubted Katie as Bachelorette, and how do you feel now? I'd love to hear from you guys. Please do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe. My Instagram is right there at DNeals. If you want to join my Discord, it's a free chat app service. There's a ton of people on it. We just got 100 people on it, all texting during the live streams and doing all these things. Real interactive. You can go check that out. There's a link to it on my Instagram. If you click at the link in the bio, you can find Dave's Discord, plus the links to all my other things I got going on. We have a Patreon, which is a private membership community. We just hit 117 members, which is insane because we were just at 20 members for like a month ago. So thank you guys for everyone who donated. Like I said, new donors coming from England and Germany, Ethiopia. We have someone in Zimbabwe, a bunch in Canada, of course, all over the U.S. So thank you guys all so much for that. I'm giving you a ton of content. I'm doing an extra live stream a week. on Sundays, and that dates will be subject to change. You can watch those. And also, I just posted a stand-up comedy show from this past Friday. So if you weren't able to make it to the stand-up comedy show, you can go check out the Patreon, and I posted a video to that link, private membership only. And I also posted a poll. There's a person in Bachelor Nation that may be interested in doing an interview. I posted that poll to see what you guys think on the Patreon. And there's a couple other clues and secrets and behind-the-scenes info that I've been sharing on the Patreon that I just can't quite share with the public right now. So if you want extra Bachelor tea, I'm surprised to say this, that I've had so many Bachelor contestants and family of the contestants and other Bachelor news people reach out to me. It's just a product of the fact that YouTube decided sharing my content with everyone, so they're all getting on board, and I appreciate all of you guys for the loyalty that has helped make that happen. So again, thank you all so much. Thank you to the new Patreon members and everyone else for joining. Go to Tasha Courtney's YouTube channel right now, and you can watch her Bachelor fashion recap. It's called Tasha's Take, and you're going to love it over there. Okay, thank you guys again so much. Keep it kind in the comment section. I think we can have a nice civil and peaceful discourse. Agree to disagree on topics, but let's definitely be respectful. And I'll see you guys later on today. Bye, everybody.